Yeah, so this is 3x minus 4, let's say, and this is modulus of that. Then let's suppose my answer comes out to be, they say what is x of minus 1, ठीक है? So f of minus 1 मुझे चाहिए. तो इसका मतलब होगा कि I put minus 1 in there and that gives me minus 7 inside. Now this is minus 7, right? But this modulus is telling me to multiply it with minus so that I can get plus 7 at the end. Similarly, if I had f of 3, then I'll get 3 times 3 minus 4, which is 9 minus 4, which is 5, right? And mod of 5 is still 5 because the mod is telling me that if it is greater than 0, leave it as it is. So how do you solve equations that have modulus in them? So there are two ways for doing that. Number one method is you use the definition of what mod is. This is the definition of mod, guys. So we use it. So let's suppose I have the same function f of x equals 3x minus 4. Then I break it up. I say, okay, it is going to be 3x minus 4 multiplied with negative if it is negative, and it is going to be the same if it is positive. But for this I need to know कि कब जाके मेरा आंसर 0 होता है. Which is the breaking point for this curve? So let me try it. 3x minus 4. When is this equal to 0? Now this is my rough work, okay? It is equal to 4 by 3. That means if x is less than 4 by 3, I will multiply it with minus 1. But if it is greater than 4 by 3, I will let it stay. So that is one way of solving it. तो अब वो आपसे कहता है कि f of minus 1 करें, तो आपने देखना है कि minus 1 इस एरिया में आता है. It is less than 4 by 3. So मैं ये वाली definition apply करूंगा. That gives me minus 3 times minus 1 minus 4 gives me positive 7 at the answer. और इसी का मतलब ये भी बनता है कि f of 3 अगर करना है तो मैं कहूंगा कि ये वाली definition apply होगी, वो वाली नहीं होगी. So मैं वो वाली definition use करूंगा और मेरे पास आंसर आ जाएगा, whatever the answer is. In other words, whenever you have modulus function, look at what value of x you're putting in and what answer you get. If you get a negative answer, make it positive. If you get a positive answer, make it negative. Now, how does that relate to it in the graph? So let's suppose y is equal to 3x minus 4. That is my graph, right? ये एक red line नजर आ रही है. But how is this different from y is equal to modulus of 3x minus 4? So here's the main point. This point here, 1.333, that is actually 4 by 3. ये वो point है जहां पर ये curve, ये line 0 हो जाती है. Remember I told you that the value of y is actually the value of curve. So when x is 1.333, which means x is 4 by 3, this line has a value of 0. Does that make sense? Which means that after this, all the values are going to be less than 0. तो mod क्या करेगा? वो इन सब lines को reflect कर देगा x axis में, so that they become positive. So you can see that this is minus 4 here, but now it becomes positive 4 because we have reflected it. Okay, so two ways of looking at mod. One is if you have mod, it is piecewise function, which means that any answer less than 0 is multiplied by negative 1, and any answer greater than 0 is simply left as it is. Other way is look at the graph, draw it as you normally would, बस जहां वो x axis से नीचे गया, जहां पे उसकी value 0 से छोटी हुई, you reflect it in the x axis to make it positive. So that is modulus. Okay. There is a third way of solving modulus. And that is, let's suppose मैं आपसे कहता हूं कि modulus 3x minus 4 equals to 7 and you have to solve it. Now you can solve it in 3 different ways. First method, using the definition. If you use the definition of modulus, then you can say that 3x minus 4 equal to minus 7 and 3x minus 4 equal to plus 7, because you know that this is minus and positive depending on what the value is. So आप कहेंगे कि 3x minus 4 ये बन जाएगा minus 7 plus 4 और ये divided by 3 हो जाएगा. You'll get x equal to minus 1. And here you do the same thing. This becomes 11 and x equal to 11 over 3. So the modulus is going to give you two answers, 11 over 3 and minus 1. That is the first method of solving it. Second method is squaring it. Why are we squaring? Because we know that any square will also give us a positive answer. Okay, so you do this, 3x minus 4 squared is equal to 7 squared. My question was 3x minus 4. So I square it and now I know how to open it up. Does anybody remember the identity?
A square minus 2ab plus b square.
Very good. So a squared क्या होगा? 9x squared minus 2 times 3x times 4 plus 4 squared, which is 16, equals 49. This gives me 9x squared minus 24x plus 16 minus 49 equal to 0. And I will solve this equation. ठीक है? जब आप इसको solve करते हो, you will ultimately end up at x plus 1 and x plus 11 by 3. In which case, you will know that x equal to minus 1 and x equal to minus 11 by 3. Okay? I know you know how to solve it, so मैंने उसको solve नहीं किया. The third method that we have, that is graphical. Graphical method simply means that you take the equation 3x minus 4 modulus, तो वो हमने ग्राफ ड्रॉ कर लेना है उसका, और फिर आप दूसरी साइड y इक्वल टू 7 का ग्राफ ड्रॉ कर लेंगे. क्योंकि आप देखो आपका ग्राफ क्या है, on one side you have 3x minus 4 modulus, on the other side you have 7. So आप दो लाइंस के ग्राफ बनाएंगे. One side will be 3x minus 4 modulus, और उसका ग्राफ कैसे बनाएंगे? आप 3x minus 4 का ग्राफ बनाएंगे और यहाँ पे x इंटरसेप्ट के बाद उसे रिफ्लेक्ट कर देंगे और फिर इस तरह से y equal to 7 का ग्राफ बना लेंगे. And where they meet, that is your answer. And you can see that minus 1 and 3.66666, that is my x value, which is nothing but minus 1 and plus 11 by 3. What if we have inequalities? Then we know how to deal with inequalities, right? Let's suppose यही question आ रहा था, 3x minus 7 is less than 7. Oh, sir, less than, what was it? 3x minus 4 is less than 7. Let's suppose ये आ जाता. अब इसको solve करने के लिए again यही तीन methods हैं, except you are going to add one more thing to it. So let's suppose I do it through the definition method. So if I use the definition method, then I'll say that my critical values, I will try to find critical values first. So I will solve it as I normally would. लेकिन मैं बस लिख दूंगा कि मैं critical values ढूंढ रहा हूं, मैं उसको इक्वल कर नहीं रहा, मैं critical values ढूंढ रहा हूं. ये लफ्ज लिखना बहुत जरूरी है. या आप लिख दें finding critical values. Now we solve it, we get x equal to minus 1 and x equal to 11 over 3, right? So we will get two answers. Now these are your critical values. You put it like this, minus 1 कर दिया, 11 over 3 कर दिया, और अब आप देखेंगे कि कब लेफ्ट साइड राइट साइड से छोटी होती है, क्योंकि आपको लेस देन चाहिए. लुक एट दिस इक्वेशन है, इनइक्वालिटी है, लेस देन चाहिए आपको. सो अगर मैं यहां से कोई वैल्यू पिक करता हूं, लेट्स सपोज minus 2 पिक करता हूं, सो 3 times minus 2 minus 4, that is minus 6 minus 4 minus 10. मॉड्यूलस में जब जाएगा तो आंसर आएगा positive 10. Is positive 10 less than 7? No, right? So this value, this side will not be accepted. Then we look at any value from here. So this value is 0. Let's suppose I put 0 in there. 3, 0 minus 4 less than 7. Let's see. Why we get minus 4, which is 4 less than 7. That is true, right? So ये वाला option मेरे लिए ठीक है. Then I pick a value from here. Let's suppose I pick 10. So 3 times 10 minus 4 modulus less than 7. That gives me 26 modulus less than 7, which is wrong, right? Because 26 is not less than 7. So this is again rejected. So my final answer will be that minus 1 is less than x, which is less than 11 by 3. The only difference between inequalities and equations here is that you solve them the way you normally would, but instead of finding the answers and stopping here, you say that this is my critical value, and now I'm going to find the range, and for that you do the testing. That is one method. If you square it, you do the same thing, you get the critical values, and then you test it, and then you're like, okay, this is my answer. But if you take the graphical value, then what do? In this case, you are looking at the graph, और आप देखो कि red line is above the blue line between this value and this value, -1 से लेकर 3.667 के बीच में कोई भी value pick करता हूँ. If I pick any value from here, no matter where it is, let's suppose I pick this. My blue line is below the red line. I pick this. Blue line is below the red line. I pick this. Blue line is below the red line. But it exceeds it after -1 and it exceeds it after 3.67. Remember, I'm talking about values of x, okay? So I will say that between -1 and 3.67, my curve or my modulus is less than 7. और उसके बाद my blue line is higher, its value is higher than the red line, which means कि मेरा उसके बाद वाली जो values हैं वो less than में नहीं आती. So that's how you solve modulus equations, modulus inequalities. Now, what do you do if you have situation like this? If you have a question that says, let's say, when you have two modulus, what do you do when you have something like this? क्या करना चाहिए? Any ideas?
Sir, can we cancel them out?
What do you mean cancel them out?
मतलब कि दोनों साइडों पे तो बस खत्म कर दें.
क्या खत्म कर दें? एक सेकंड.
जिस तरह अगर दोनों साइडों पे इसका कोई ऑपोजिट होता है, जिस तरह स्क्वायर का स्क्वायर रूट होता है, उस तरह
Good
से हम
question.
खत्म कर.
Good question. That is there a way to get rid of this? Turns out मॉड्यूलस को आप डायरेक्टली खत्म नहीं कर सकते. ठीक है, मल्टीप्लिकेशन के लिए आप डिवाइड कर सकते हैं ना, मॉड्यूलस के लिए नहीं कर सकते आप. तो इस वजह से हमें इसको सॉल्व ही करना पड़ेगा. सो लेट मी शो यू द ग्राफिकल मेथड फर्स्ट. हम इसको ड्रॉ करते हैं. हमारे पास है x-7 एंड x-4, दो डिफरेंट मॉड्स हैं. तो y इज इक्वल टू मॉड ऑफ x-4. ये ग्राफ हमने बनाया. This is y is equal to x-4 line, but the moment it crosses the x-axis, it is reflected. The other one was y equals mod x-7, right? You can see that that line is also reflected like this, and they both intersect at just one point. And that point is the point of intersection of these lines. Now, just because they are intercepting at one point doesn't mean कि हमेशा ऐसे होगा. ये अभी इसलिए हो रहा है क्योंकि parallel lines हैं. But let's suppose I had a different equation, like if I had this one. So there they are intersecting at multiple points. And wherever they intersect, that is the answer. तो graphical method तो बहुत आसान है. You draw both the curves. Yes.
So इस ग्राफिकल मेथड को हम लाइक अपने ग्राफ्स पे किस तरह कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि आपने तो आराम से बस वो लिखा है इक्वेशन और उसने खुद ही प्लॉट कर लिया, पर हम किस तरह प्लॉट करेंगे?
गुड क्वेश्चन. हम सबसे पहले टेबल बनाएंगे. टेबल में हम लिखेंगे 1 2 3 कोई 3 वैल्यूज. फिर हम उसको पुट करेंगे इसके अंदर. तो 1 - 4 इज -3, तो +3 हो जाएगा. 3 ही आपने लिखना है. 2 - 4 इज -2, आपने -2 लिख देना है. 3 - 4 इज -1, आपने -1 लिख देना है. ये आपके पास पॉइंट्स आ जाएंगे. फिर आप इन पॉइंट्स को लाइन से कनेक्ट करेंगे और ये लाइन ऐसे कंटिन्यू चलती जाएगी. आपने कंटिन्यू कर देना उसको. और जब आप देखेंगे ना कि वो x को क्रॉस कर रही है, उसके नीचे वाला सारा पोर्शन आपने रिफ्लेक्ट कर देना. रिफ्लेक्शन का मतलब ये होता है कि अगर एक पॉइंट आपके पास यहां पर है ना, आप उसको यहां पर बनाएंगे. अगर आपका एक पॉइंट यहां पर है, आप उसको 2 स्टेप्स ऊपर करके रिफ्लेक्ट यहां पे बनाएंगे, क्योंकि आपकी मिरर लाइन इज एक्स एक्सिस. एंड दैट वे यू विल ड्रॉ द लाइन. ठीक है ना?
ओके सर.
या, वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन. तो इस तरह से हमारे पास ये पॉइंट्स आ जाएंगे एंड देन वी विल बी एबल टू सी देम. ओके, but what if we wanted to solve them algebraically or something? Then we can use the definition. अब बल्कि definition वाले पे मैं बाद में आता हूँ. Squaring method देखते हैं. Squaring method is really easy. You have x-7, square that. You have x-4, square that. You end up with, don't cancel the squares, please. Square root ना ले लेना, वापस शुरू में आ जाओगे. x squared minus 14x plus 49 equals to x squared minus what 8x plus 4. 16. And then you know how to do it, right? You solve it. This one
सर
cancels out, obviously. Yes?
सर आपने वो क्यों नहीं लगाई लाइंस मॉड्यूलस वाली थी
Because जब स्क्वायर कर देते हैं उसके बाद मॉडुलस नहीं करते, क्योंकि मॉडुलस हैज बीन टेकन केयर ऑफ.
ओके ठीक है
Yeah, so you solve it now, you get 49 minus 16 is equal to 8x plus, sorry, minus 8x plus 14x. So 49 minus that is 33 over 6 is going to be x. तो आपके पास एक आंसर आ गया. अच्छा, the algebraic method will again work. ठीक है, जो definition से अगर हम use करते हैं, we'll simply say x minus 7 equals x minus 4 or x minus 7 equals to minus x minus 4. तो ये minus x minus 4 ये बन जाएगा. ठीक है, और इससे हमारे पास जो बनता है ऑब्वियसली एक्स एक्स से कैंसिल हो रहा है तो ये तो नॉनसेंसिकल हो जाएगा ना. और ये वाला बन जाएगा 2x इक्वल्स टू व्हाट 11 and x equals to 11 over 3, and that you see is actually our answer. 11 over 2, sorry. So 11 over 2, यहाँ पे भी 11 over 2. ठीक है, तो आप डेफिनेशन मेथड यूज कर सकते हैं, आप स्क्वेयरिंग मेथड यूज कर सकते हैं, आप ग्राफिकल मेथड यूज कर सकते हैं, but all of them will give you the same answer. Okay. Any questions on modulus, how to deal with modulus, how to solve it?
फिर जो भी आपने पिछले वाला किया x माइनस 7 और वो माइनस को कॉमन ले लिया वो सॉल्व आपने तो नहीं किया
I'm
2x
sorry?
किस तरह आया है 2x is equal to 11 किस तरह आया है
I moved this here, I moved this here. 2x equals to 11, x equal to 11 over 2. Makes sense? Now, cubic equations, how do you solve them? I'm not going to get into much detail of cubic equations today because I just want to keep it related to modulus. Don't want to overburden you guys. But cubic equations are basically, sorry, equations that have 3 roots because they have powers of 3. So a standard cubic equation will be something like this: ax cubed plus bx plus c equal to, sorry, ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d equal to 0. तो ये हमारे पास स्टैंडर्ड इक्वेशन है, लेकिन इसी की, रिमेंबर, this form will be polynomial form because everything is expanded and everything is arranged by the power. Then we also have a roots form. The root form will be like you have 3 roots, so मैं कहता हूँ 3 roots है मेरे पास, तो वो बन जाएंगी a x minus alpha, x minus beta, x minus gamma, basically 3 different numbers that are x intercepts. Okay, तो ये मेरे पास रूट इक्वेशन बन जाएगी. ये क्यूबिक इक्वेशंस होती हैं जिनमें तीन फैक्टर्स होते हैं. रिमेंबर, दिस इज अ फैक्टर, this is a factor, this is a factor, 3 different factors of this. ठीक है, and we will get into the discussion of what factors are and how we can use them when we do it later on. So today I want to deal with number 1, how to graph cubic equations, and number 2, how to solve them, hopefully using what we have learned in chapter on quadratic equations so far. Okay, so how do we draw them? First of all, remember that each of these is telling me different things. For example, A is telling me the shape. So A tells the shape, okay? So if A is positive, the shape is like this. And if A is negative, the shape is like this. Now notice that there are 2 turns. The 2 turns are because the power is 3, so the number of turns is 1 less than that. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but most of the time it does. Secondly, this is going to intersect the x-axis at 3 different points. और वो भी nature of roots पे depend करता है. Remember, nature of roots, I said that the roots are real, or they can be imaginary, or they can be real and equal, right? So I'm going to draw a graph and you have to tell me, ये graph है, 3 roots होनी चाहिए. How many of them are real in this one? Just 1 root is real. This one is real root. The rest of the 2 out of 3 are imaginary. Now I'm going to make another graph. This one and this one, they are both real, but these are equal as well. Two roots that are equal to each other. And the third one situation can be like this. Here you can see that both the roots are, all three of them are real and distinct. So this is the same discussion as we had on quadratic equation and their roots. Except this time we have cubic equation. तो cubic equation क्या करती है? क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशंस की जो रूट्स हैं उनका नेचर वैसा ही रहता है, एक एक्स्ट्रा रूट ऐड हो जाती है. इसका मतलब ये है कि वन रूट इज ऑलवेज ऑलवेज रियल. वन रूट इज ऑलवेज ऑलवेज रियल, विच मीन्स कि एक रूट तो हमेशा एक्स इंटरसेप्ट होगा, लेकिन बाकी दो जो हैं दे कैन बी रियल, दे कैन बी इमेजिनरी, दे कैन बी रियल एंड इक्वल, एनी ऑफ द थ्री वैल्यूज. लेकिन एक रूट हमेशा इनकी रियल होती है. Whenever you solve them, the trick is to figure out that first real root. Okay? So let me show you how to solve it. Let's suppose एक equation है x cube minus 3x plus 5, 3x square plus 5x plus 2 equal to 0. और वो कहता है कि इसको solve करें. अब इसको solve करने के लिए आपको पहली रूट जो रियल वाली रूट है, आपको पता है एक रूट हमेशा रियल होती है, राइट? सो दैट वन यू हैव टू फिगर आउट फॉर योरसेल्फ. अब उसको फिगर आउट करने के हमारे पास तीन डिफरेंट मेथड होते हैं. एक मेथड हमारे सिलेबस में नहीं, एक मेथड सिलेबस में है लेकिन उसको अच्छा नहीं समझा जाता, और एक मेथड है जो कि वो कहते हैं कि हमेशा यूज करें. द फर्स्ट मेथड विच दे आस्क यू टू डू इज बेसिकली कॉल्ड ट्रायल एंड एरर. ठीक है, ट्रायल एंड एरर मेथड. यू पिक अ, यू गेस अ रूट. ओके, सो गेस करते हैं आप. अब यहां पर आई विल टेल यू अबाउट what is called rational root theorem. Again, that is not in AdMaths, but I find it very useful and I'm going to tell you how to do it. So pay attention, please. Look at the first number here, 1, right? Look at the last number here, 2. What are the factors of 2? 2 के कोई factors बताएं. 1 and 2, yes. So I'll write 1 and I'll write 2. The first number is 1, right? What are the factors of 1? Just 1, right? So put that here. प्लस एंड माइनस हो सकता है, प्लस एंड माइनस हो सकता है. इसका मतलब है कि आपके गैसेस जो होने चाहिए ना, वो इन चार में से कोई एक होना चाहिए. +1, -1, +2, -2. क्या किया? टेक द नंबर एट द एंड, टेक द नंबर इन द बिगिनिंग, इसके फैक्टर्स उसके फैक्टर्स डिवाइड करवा दें, प्लस एंड माइनस दोनों.